Please video like and subscribe this channel. I had been stationed on the outpost Ardent 9 for nearly 2 years, a desolate research hub orbiting a dead star in the Obsidian Nebula. The human presence in this sector was meant to be subtle, mostly monitoring alien anomalies, observing interstellar traffic, and, above all, keeping Earth's interests intact. My job was straightforward: collect data, report, and avoid drama. The fewer complications, the better. But then she arrived. Her ship materialized without warning, a sleek, cobalt blue craft unlike any design sanctioned by human or allied interstellar authorities. When she stepped out, I almost laughed. The stories didn't prepare me for the reality: a tall, blue-skinned woman, eyes like molten silver, hair flowing with an otherworldly shimmer. And then I saw her smile. It was unsettling. There was a warmth in it that defied her reputation. The name Virilia was whispered in the corridors before she even docked. Killed 47 people across 3 star systems, the reports said. A mercenary, an assassin, a predator. A monster. And yet, as she looked at me, all I could see was something else. Something human in her gaze. I should have stepped back. I should have raised an alarm. But curiosity, and something deeper I refused to name, kept me rooted in place. The first encounter was supposed to be a formal security inspection. I met her in the docking bay, standing rigid, weapon holstered at her side. Protocol demanded caution. My squadron's intelligence had already briefed me: do not trust. Observe. Contain. But when Virilia extended her hand, I felt the stories clash with reality. Her touch was warm, almost normal, and her silver eyes studied me with an intensity that felt personal. You are human, she said softly. Her voice was melodic, yet carried a subtle undercurrent of danger. I was told I'd meet only soldiers. Yet here you are. Alone. Yes, I stammered, my words failing under the weight of her gaze. Lieutenant Aaron Cole. Security officer of Ardent 9. She smiled again, slightly, knowingly. Aaron Cole, she repeated, as if tasting my name. Interesting. It was the kind of smile that made warnings feel like distant echoes. Everyone had told me to avoid her, to maintain strict professional distance, yet here I was, drawn in by a force I couldn't explain. Over the next few days, she moved freely through the station, her presence commanding attention without demanding it. Security protocols flagged her, naturally, and a small team began shadowing her movements. Every report mentioned her lethal efficiency, the cold calculation in her actions, the silence that preceded her strikes. But every encounter I had with her suggested a more complex personality. Virilia was unpredictable. Untrustworthy? Perhaps. Dangerous? Definitely. But beneath it all, there was intelligence, wit, even empathy. I was drawn in, despite knowing better. One evening, the station's artificial dusk bathed the observation deck in soft amber. I was alone, reviewing sensor logs, when Virilia appeared behind me. I hadn't heard her enter, a signature of her stealth. You're curious, she said. Her voice barely above a whisper, and yet it resonated in the small chamber. They warned you about me. Yet you're here. I paused. I don't know. Something about you. I want to understand. She stepped closer, her presence filling the room. Curiosity is dangerous here. But so is ignorance. Her eyes glimmered. Do you want to see the truth of me, Aaron? I nodded before thinking. Then she smiled. That smile, the one that made everyone forget caution, was back. The truth of her life was darker than any report. Virelia had been trained as an interstellar operative from a young age. Her 47 confirmed kills weren't random acts of violence, they were executions in clandestine operations against tyrants and corrupt regimes across the nebula. Each kill calculated, each mission leaving her name whispered in fear and awe alike. She had survived assassins, space pirates, and planetary security forces with ease. And yet, standing before me, she was human enough to laugh softly at her own legend. You know, she said, leaning against the railing, I've heard 1,000 warnings about myself. Yet you don't seem afraid. I should be, I admitted. Everyone else is. And yet you're not, she observed. Her silver eyes caught the faint light of Ardent Nine's dying sun. Why? I don't know, I said honestly. I think I see something different in you. She studied me, expression unreadable, and then her lips curved into the smallest, almost imperceptible smile. Perhaps you are the first. That moment shattered my perception. For the first time, I realized that the stories didn't capture her. They didn't explain her complexity, her moral code, or the intelligence behind her actions. She was both danger and salvation, a combination I couldn't ignore. The station came under attack 2 days later. A rogue faction, aware of her reputation, attempted to capture or kill her, thinking her a liability to interstellar stability. Alarms blared, and emergency protocols activated. I was stationed at the main corridor, weapons ready. And then I saw her move. Virelia fought with lethal precision. Every movement, every strike, eliminated threats without hesitation. 47 lives, I thought, all executed with purpose. Yet here, in the tight corridors of Ardent 9, her actions saved hundreds of innocent crew members. I watched, awestruck and terrified, as she became a storm incarnate, blue-skinned and beautiful, ruthless and protective all at once. When the last intruder was neutralized, she leaned against the wall, breathing hard, eyes flickering with that impossible silver glow. I approached her cautiously, unsure whether to salute or run. You did well, I said quietly, my voice shaking. You saved everyone. She met my gaze, and for the first time, there was no pretense. No lethal mask. Just Virelia, and something vulnerable beneath it. And yet, Aaron, she said softly, you stayed. You didn't run. I couldn't, I admitted. Even if I should have. She tilted her head, studying me, then reached for my hand. The contact was brief, but enough. Sparks, metaphorical and real, shot through me. Then perhaps, she whispered, you understand me better than anyone else ever could. In the aftermath, the station's governing council demanded her arrest. Earth authorities sent warnings. Her past, her reputation, and her skill made her a target. I faced a choice: comply with protocol, enforce interstellar law, and send her away, or trust the woman who had saved lives, yet left a trail of fear behind her. I chose her. The decision wasn't rational. It was instinct, emotion, and something deeper, a recognition that the universe was rarely black and white. Virelia and I commandeered a small shuttle, slipping through the nebula's shadows, evading both human and rogue forces. She piloted with unmatched precision, weaving through asteroid fields and debris like a predator dancing through a forest. 4 days, we traveled in silence, punctuated only by the hum of the engines and the occasional shared glance. Each look reinforced the unspoken bond forming between us, a connection forged in danger, respect, and a growing, undeniable attraction. Weeks passed. I learned more about her than any report could capture. Her childhood on the planet Elythra, a rigorous training regime that molded her into a lethal operative. The missions that demanded moral choices I could scarcely comprehend. The sacrifices she made to protect innocence, even when her superiors branded them irrelevant. And her rare moments of vulnerability, revealed only to me, in whispered conversations beneath starlit skies. Her humanity surprised me. Her complexity humbled me. And her trust, given freely despite the warnings, inspired me. I realized then that love in the galaxy wasn't about convenience or safety. It was about courage. Courage to see beyond fear. Courage to embrace what others rejected. And in that moment, I embraced her, not the monster, not the legend, but the woman who had chosen to smile at me despite everything. By the time we reached a remote human colony on the edge of neutral space, our reputations preceded us. The colonists were wary, some even fearful. Virelia's past shadowed her like a cloak, but I didn't care. Together, we forged a fragile truce with our surroundings, not through violence, but through transparency, trust, and the bond that had formed in the chaos of the nebula. We survived encounters, navigated diplomacy, and built a quiet life on the frontier, always aware that the universe remembered her 47 confirmed kills. Yet in every conversation, every smile, every shared sunrise, we rewrote her story. She wasn't just the killer they warned about. She was a protector, a partner, and, to me, the most extraordinary person I had ever met. Standing on the cliffside overlooking twin suns, Virelia took my hand, her blue skin radiant in the fading light. "You chose me," she said softly, a note of disbelief and gratitude in her voice. "Despite everything you knew." "I didn't choose the danger," I replied. "I chose you." She smiled, the smile that had ensnared my curiosity, challenged my fears, and ultimately captured my heart. For the first time, I understood that love didn't obey logic. Love defied fear. Love, sometimes, required embracing the impossible. And in the quiet, distant reaches of the galaxy, I knew one truth. No warning, no reputation, no legend could ever diminish what we had found together. Even if she had killed 47 people, I would choose her again.